Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week where two old guys talk about old games. It's Other Shit Monday, which is also coming up on the end of the N64 list. So Dave and I were like, let's do something easy. Let's do something that's been in the barrel for a while. So like 2 years ago, we asked our SNES what the worst Super Nintendo games were. And the consensus was pretty much the game that was always in everyone's top three as being the absolute worst on the Super Nintendo is what we're doing today.
Well, it was between Bebe's Kids and this game.
Mm-hmm.
So like just to give you an idea of like where this hit on the list of shitty SNES games, it was mentioned in the same breath as Bebe's Kids a couple of times.
Which I think Ryan told me what he thinks the worst is, and I think he might be right.
What's he say it is?
Captain Novolio, which was the insulin game.
Oh yeah, I remember you.
I think that might be worse than this, but this is pretty bad.
Is that a licensed Nintendo game or is that like Super Noah's Ark 3D?
Wouldn't surprise me if it's not licensed.
Okay. Because it
I
sounds
don't know
like
for sure.
it sounds like one of those that might not be.
But today we're going to be talking about Bill Laimbeer's Combat Basketball.
Yeah, I thought it was college basketball.
So did I. So did I until 2 days ago. Jacob's like, Combat Basketball? I was like, oh, that makes more sense. Okay, yeah.
I didn't know until I turned the game on. And I was like, what is this?
Because we were talking about stuff we wanted to do because, I mean, toward the end of the SNES or N64 list, it's time consuming. So I was like, why don't we do a sports game? We can do a sports game. Blow everybody's mind. Well,
Is your mind blown, listener? let's give them a second to collect themselves.
It's Combat Basketball.
I know, which kind of like takes a little bit of the edge off because it's not like we're doing like FIFA 2015 or something.
For some reason, we have FIFA 2016. I don't know how he managed to get it. Why anybody would listen to it?
We've got FIFA 2025. Biff Tannen brought it back, and actually that'd be this year.
But first, I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And Dave, I sent you a text message saying, hey, I got intros covered.
Yeah, is it that vinegar pie that Meg mentioned earlier?
that thing that Meg, the surprise that she ruined? That's part of it. But
I hope you were going to be like, taste this. What is it?
But I saw a commercial, so I was like, okay, well, I have to go get hot, spicy garbage food. So those grilled stuffed things that Taco Bell had are apparently out of rotation.
They're gone already?
So now the new thing is the Volcano Quesarito.
Is this from Taco Bell?
This is also from Taco Bell.
They're a Patreon donor, by the way, Taco Bell.
Yeah. So what I have for us, I have a chicken one and a beef one.
Okay. This is Volcano.
The Volcano Quesarito.
All right, but this is gonna be hot. So let me open up a beverage. I'm gonna summon Pepsi Man.
So here they were kind enough as to wrap them inside out, depending on what is inside. So I will give us each half of the chicken and the beef.
Okay.
They also had the steak option, but I didn't use Patreon money for this, and I'm not Rockefeller. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I mean, if Taco Bell took PayPal, it'd be a whole different story, right?
And if Cam Girls took PayPal,
Yeah.
then it'd still be the same situation because we'd be out of money.
These are heavy. Like, this is
Considerably.
probably, like, if I had to, like, guess, this weighs about as much as my cat. Was this expensive?
No, it's like $5 for both of them.
For both of them?
Yeah.
All right. So, I can't tell. Here's my quick review immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at them. I cannot tell which one is the beef and which one is the chicken just from looking at them. They're cut open. They're like bisected, and I don't know which. I guess is that chicken?
I think the one that is one slight shade lighter might be the chicken.
Okay. So what do you want to do the chicken first?
That's cool. We'll do the chicken first because it's the grilled stuffed thing with the commercial made it look like it had like cilantro rice. I'm just seeing rice.
I don't think they want you to look inside of these things, is how it looks. It kind of looks like they don't want you to look inside the shell. Okay. I guess this is cheese or something. I don't even see any hot sauce.
That chicken is really bad
It's pretty bland.
because it's supposed to be like wrapped twice and there's like volcano sauce in between the layers or something like that.
There's not.
Not crazy about it. Yeah, bland. Chicken is pretty bad.
Yeah, chicken's really dry.
The ghost pepper, grilled stuffed, whatever, was much better. Much better. The Daredevil stuffed taco or whatever.
I mean, I'm going to eat it all, but it is pretty bad. I'm not going to pass up a free volcano taco, man.
Yeah, because at least in the beef one, I can see there's probably sour cream in this.
Yeah, I see a little thing in there. I still
Or-
don't see like hot sauce or anything.
Yeah.
I think they missed that because it is double wrapped, but it's just like there's nothing in
They
between.
must have forgot to put the volcano sauce.
Yeah,
the,
I think
the thing
so.
they advertised it for.
Okay, so trying the beef.
Beef is much better.
It is much better. Not hot at all.
Nope.
They totally forgot the volcano
They
sauce.
had to yeah, because that's got like zero heat. But now that we've tried both of those, Dave, if you'll recall, when I turned 31, you very graciously bought me a Steam gift card.
Yeah,
And on the way to Nashville,
that's every birthday.
yeah.
So
that's
yeah,
how me, you, and Josh we just exchanged the same gift card
Right.
to each other. On the way to Hattie B's in Nashville for my birthday, you stopped at a gas station and bought me a paperback recipe book.
I did. The Hillbilly Cookbook, I believe it was called.
I have it right here. Yes, it is the Hillbilly Cookin' Mountaineer Style, a paperback book. You can get your own copy for $3.99. And I left it on my counter, and for every time we recorded for about a month, you're like, made anything out of that yet?
Yeah, because you left it here in the annex untouched.
Yep.
So I just wanted to reference it.
So today, for the second part of our Let's Try Some Stuff, there is a recipe in the corner that says vinegar pie recipe inside. So I made vinegar pie.
Have you tried it yet?
Nope.
Can you tell me what's in it?
Not a lot. It was pretty simple. And these recipes suck, as in direction. So it's written as if, I guess they were like, you know, we could make a good cookbook, but
Yeah.
like, let's make it seem like it was written by an illiterate Appalachian man.
Seem like.
Yeah.
Let's make it seem like. My favorite thing about that book is on the cover, there's a woman in a bonnet stirring a cauldron. And there's a like emaciated dog at her feet. Like all the hallmarks that like just scream quality recipes.
What on the back is the Hatfield and McCoy looking man with a double barrel shotgun and no shoes. Let me go retrieve the vinegar pie from the fridge.
Oh, it's not a hot deal.
Because I was excited about this part. I wanted to surprise you completely with something from the Hillbilly Cookbook. And then Meg decided to walk out here and randomly say, "He liked that vinegar pie?"
Hey, I completely didn't realize it was from the Hillbilly Cooking Book.
So let me find the recipe and I'll tell you a little more about it.
Well, you just laid a knife on it, and it kind of looked like it has a film on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not liking that.
It's
The crust looks good. Did you make the crust, or is it?
no.
Okay.
I bought. I can make pie crust, but
Yeah.
it is
You're
way
not
more.
gonna-
It's way more involved. I'm not going to make.
You're not
from
going to
scratch
waste it
for
on a
this.
vinegar pie.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to tell me what's in it before I try it?
I'll let you. I'll describe it to you, because this is.
This is going to be gross. No, and that's no offense to you. It's just a vinegar pie. Come on, that can't be good.
The Clinch Mountain vinegar pie. Description: so many folks like our vinegar pie, we just had to give you our favorite.
Okay.
Not very many ingredients. The direction on it is pretty poor. I decided not to make any frosting or whipped cream with it, but
So we're getting bare bones. This is bare bones vinegar pie. Okay.
Because it does have two little stories afterward. When Grandma used a wood stove, us kids didn't dare go through the kitchen when a cake was baking, and I heard grown-ups catch it when they shook a cake down.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. There ain't a time in the mountain country when there's nothing to look at. In the spring, there's wildflowers and purty tree blooms like the silver bells and sarvices, just to mention a few. In the summer, it's grand. And in the cold weather, man, you ones come.
Are you just naming like Forgotten Realms deities at this
Guess
point?
so. I thought that was supposed to be youngins. Like, when it's cold, you stay inside and fuck and make kids. But no, it says youans, so not youngins. So this is sort of, it's still running. It hasn't set up the way I wanted it. Follow the directions exactly. But it is very, very runny.
I'm not going to be polite. If I don't like it, you're going to know it.
That's okay.
Okay. Because, I mean, it does not look great. And the word vinegar is in it with the word pie. Like two things that I feel like should not go together. Is there vinegar in it?
There is.
I don't think I want to try this.
You gotta try
I
it.
don't think I want to try. You say it, you scoop it out with a. It's like a snack pack. You're scooping out with a knife.
Here you go.
Okay, I'm gonna smell it.
I guess I get you a spoon.
Oh no, this does not. It smells like vinegar.
Well, yeah. You'd probably be more freaked out if it didn't.
No, I wouldn't. I would be like, oh, they call it vinegar pie because that's a joke. No one put vinegar in a pie. Thank you for the spoon. I'm trying this with you. Ugh, this looks gross, man.
I'm not going to scoop any onto my plate. I'll just eat right out of the pie.
What if I want a second slice?
All right.
We're gonna try it. I'm gonna get a big piece of crust. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's not bad.
No, it's not awful.
It's like key lime almost.
Because there's lemon extract in it.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, actually. I'm quite surprised. I thought it was going to be really, really nasty.
So let me find the recipe again So there's sugar, eggs, vinegar, which I used white vinegar, flour, water, butter, and lemon extract. That's it. Because it just tells me to combine all of those and cook it over a double boiler until it's thick and smooth, which I did for a long time.
What's a double boiler?
It is because eggs are finicky to cook, like chocolate. Like, so you have boiling water and then set something on top of it so that it's indirect heat coming out from the boiling water.
Okay.
Because eggs are super easy to scramble, and scrambled eggs aren't good in anything but scrambled eggs.
You say they're super easy to scramble. I gotta do it. Tried to do it.
So yeah, then I've just made all that thick and poured it into a baked pie crust. And then I put it in the fridge hoping it would set up because it was still loose. Like, I let it cook down for a while and it didn't get still the consistency they wanted. Or the flour, the recipe could just not have enough flour in it. So I don't know.
I think the dog on the cover would be proud of you. It's better than the Taco Bell stuff. It really was. Like, a lot better than the Taco Bell stuff. Thank you, Tyler.
You're welcome.
That was a good half surprise. I am your bespectacled host, Dave. And I actually had an intro prepared. I know you said don't worry about it, but I want to tell you about
Okay.
this really awesome dream I had. We're to that point now where I just talk about dreams that I had because I have nothing left to talk about for an intro. Obviously, I'm eating a vinegar pie. I had a dream that involved you, Tyler, so I wanted to let you know. And I woke up and I couldn't, it was one of those where it was like I couldn't tell if it was real or not, if it had happened, because it was a dream where we all went to Dragon Con. And you wanted to, before we got to the hotel, you wanted to stop and get some food. You want to get some food that we could eat.
Classic me.
Yeah, you want to get some food that we could eat on the whole time that we were there. And I thought, yeah, that's a great idea. Everyone else wanted to get to the hotel, and I was like, well, I'm going to go with Tyler because I want to look at all the food at the wonderful grocery store. So we decided to go to Murder Kroger, which is an actual Kroger in Atlanta that I think we've probably talked about on the show before.
I think we've linked the website talking about Murder Kroger.
No, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put it in the show notes. But we've never gone. Like, at least I've never gone. I think we might have driven past it one year, but I've never stopped and actually gone in there. So in this dream, you and I go to Murder Kroger, and we start looking for food, and it is like the shelves are barren. It's like a store you stumble upon in Fallout, essentially. And it's like all the food is expired. And so like I'm looking through the chips, and I'm really involved in these chips. I'm looking at them, and then I kind of turn around, and you're gone. I have no idea where you are. I have no idea where you went, and I start to get really nervous. I start to get scared because it's like, oh, Tyler's probably dead. I mean, I'm probably gonna die next. So I steel myself, and I start. I'm going to look for you. So now all of a sudden, it's like that feeling when I was a kid, and I was like 6 years old, and I would get separated from my mother in the grocery store. Does this ever happen to you?
Oh, yeah.
And I do that thing where I would like walk down each aisle and like look down the aisle and then quickly walk to the next aisle and look down the aisle. Nope, not there. So I'm doing this, looking for you, and I'm like, fuck, I've gone through all the aisles. I cannot find Tyler. I was like, okay, well, it's a grocery store, so it probably has a produce department. They've probably got like the refrigerators, and they probably got the deli. I go to the fridges, you're not there. I go to the produce, you're not there. I go to the deli, and they've got this like sushi style conveyor belt where just all the meats are on the conveyor belt, and they're coming out of this refrigerator. So I can tell that there's a refrigerator back there because it's got like the I don't know, it's cold steam. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's got some of that. Tony knows what that stuff is. I don't know. It just it lets you know when you're watching a movie that something cold is back there.
Frigid air.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. I'm gonna check out this conveyor belt. That's kind of cool. So I walk up. I've never seen this before. I walk up and there's like ground beef like going on the conveyor belt. And it's like a rack of ribs going on the conveyor belt. And I get up close to it, and I hear this like tinny music. And I'm like, what? What is that? What is that music? And then I realize that it's Castlevania music. And I look to my right, and you are like wedged up into the opening of the conveyor belt. So like there's a door, right, where the belt's coming out, and it's got like the rubber strips.
Yeah, I fucking hate those. Yes.
And you're in there. You're shirtless. You got your DS, and you're just sitting in there in your underwear, just playing Castlevania. And for a moment, I was like, "What are you doing?" And then it got really weird because I was like, "No, this is about right." Like, this is about right. I mean,
he gets hot.
He gets really hot. He does like some Castlevania games. I mean, that's probably the safest place in here. And then I woke up and I was really confused because I had this dream. I've been sitting on this wonderful story for a while. This gym. I had this dream shortly after we got back from Dragon Con. So when I woke up, I like was in that like half state of awake and dreaming, and I was like, did that happen? And it took me like a full like 2 minutes to wake up and be like, no, there's no way that happened.
I wish you had just called me. Hey man, where are you? I'm in Kroger waiting for you. Where'd you go?
Well, in my dreams, cell phones don't exist.
Okay.
It's kind of like all my dreams take place in 1987.
I expected you to say like, walk back to the meat department and ask for a pound of ham, and they pull out like something, and you see they actually put my head on the meat slicer and give you slices of my face.
They just weigh your head. And then I ate it. I mean, it was delicious.
You were delicious.
I mean, it was no vinegar pie, but it was pretty good.
You gonna talk about Bill Laimbeer's college basketball?
Not really. Not particularly. Is that how you say his name? Is it Bill Laimbeer?
I think so.
Because it's spelled like Bill
Laimbeer. Laimbeer.
This is an actual basketball player?
I've never heard of him. Granted, like, unless he played for UK, I don't know who he is.
Because I like to think that it's someone just completely made up. And like that is such a weird name to make up. Like Bill Laimbeer. Yeah, that's good. That's catchy. The kids will love it.
We can call Jacob and be like, who's Bill Laimbeer, Jacob?
Yeah, we can do that. I'm down to do that.
If you want to do that. We can't use my phone because my phone is broken. Because we figured out it was not the cord that was fucking everything up, but the headphone set on my cell phone. It's terrible.
Yeah, which is actually nice because we don't have to replace anything. You just have to replace your phone eventually, and it'll take care of itself.
Yeah, I really need to go in. Like my phone, the battery lasts about 4 hours, maybe. So
that doesn't seem right.
There's a lot of things going on with my phone. I need to go check out.
That doesn't seem right. Hey, what's up? You're supposed to be going to the soundboard. I don't know why you're not. Can you hear me still?
Oh, yes, I can.
Okay. Hey, you're on the show right now. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
We have a question for you. Do you have a moment?
Yeah, I do, of course.
Who is Bill Laimbeer? Is he a real person?
Yes. He is he's primarily known for his time with the Detroit Pistons, the sort of Bad Boys era Pistons in the late 80s, early 90s.
Wait a minute. What? The Bad Boys Pistons?
Yeah, because with Laimbeer and Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars, they were kind of, and a lot of the reason they were called the Bad Boys was because of Laimbeer, because Laimbeer was a shithead that would if you Michael Jordan had to overcome the bad boys Pistons because part of the thing that made him great is that every time he came into the paint, Laimbeer would beat the shit out of him.
He'd like
foul him super hard.
Well, he shouldn't have been painting. He's supposed to play basketball.
The paint is the painted portion of the floor. And
it's not all painted?
So, say what?
It's not all painted?
One more time, I'm sorry.
It's not all the whole basketball court is not painted?
No. It's not, oftentimes it's not. Oftentimes it's just like, parquet or hardwood or something like that.
Isaiah Thomas was accused of rape, allegedly. Like, is that the kind of bad boys era that we have going on here?
No, that happened after he had retired.
Okay.
So yeah, this was Isaiah Thomas.
Did you say Dave
They were
Thomas?
generally just kind of bad sports, and that's why Bill Laimbeer Combat Basketball is a thing, because Bill Laimbeer would beat the shit out of you.
Okay.
There's even this great story about Robert Parrish, who was a center for the Celtics at the time, and it was a game at the Garden, and I think it was in the playoffs, and Laimbeer had just been doing shitty stuff the entire time, and Parrish said that he felt like the Garden, the Boston Garden where they were playing, like willed him to punch Laimbeer in the face. and they just got into a fight right there on the court. And it was, of course, because it's basketball, it's pulled apart. It's not like a huge deal, but like he got like a solid punch in Laimbeer's face.
So this is like, so Bill Laimbeer was like the Happy Gilmore of basketball is what you're telling me?
I can see that. Yeah, sure. I can, although he is legendary. He's legendary for a lot of weird, shitty reasons because he was never like a statistically great player. But he's won some championships, and he's a name that will be remembered probably at least for the next 50 to 100 years, as long as basketball is being played. Probably
because of his video game, though.
A lot of it has to do with his video game, Bill Laimbeer Combat Basketball.
Which I thought was college basketball. I thought it was Bill Laimbeer's college basketball.
College basketball.
Yeah.
And he is, I don't know if he still is, but there for a while, he was a coach of a WNBA team.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are they brawlers?
I don't know. I don't watch WNBA.
Yeah.
The Salt Lake Face Punchers.
I just know that happened. That's all that I know.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. That's cool. I'm sure I'll probably get to that when we read his Wikipedia page. We could have done that, but we decided to call you instead.
Yeah,
this is
like
more
this
fun.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love being able to participate in TADPOG whenever I'm not around.
I like that you knew like right off the bat. It wasn't like when we called Phil and it was like never seen James Bond.
No, yeah. And I felt like I was on the other line with Galen, and I saw that you were calling me, and I was like, TADPOG needs me. So.
Away.
It's just like, bye, click.
God, I hope you guys are talking about Bill Laimbeer.
So anyway, back to our dissection of the early '90s Detroit Pistons teams.
That's good. Is that team still around? Is that a thing still? Detroit Pistons.
The Detroit Pistons, yes, are still a NBA team. Yes.
Does Bill Laimbeer still play for them?
No.
Okay.
He has not played professional basketball for probably 25 years.
I think he should. I'm just throwing that out there. I think he should.
Well, in this game that takes place in the year 2030, he is still a player.
Yeah. So he's going to come back eventually.
Yeah, he's gonna make his comeback.
I think that was making a lot of assumptions about like exoskeletons, stuff like that.
Well, you need the late.
I don't know if come to fruition.
You need the late model Laimbeer exoskeleton. I think the early adopters really got burned.
Yeah, but it's like never download iOS.
No,
like right after the new one comes out, it's
just
like you got to wait for 3-4 at least.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's the same thing. Yeah, your Laimbeer firmware is going to be all fucked up. Now all of a sudden you can't stream Netflix on your exoskeleton. I get it.
Yeah, there's no. Why do you even have the exoskeleton if you can't watch Netflix?
Yeah, there's no point. You just roll with the old stuff.
Yeah, ridiculous.
All right, dude. Thank you very much for forsaking your girlfriend to talk to us about this player that we now know is real. He's not fictional.
Yeah, this is like a microcosm of my life, basically.
I love that.
Was he known to be a
Bye,
racist?
Galen. I have to go talk about Bill Laimbeer.
And I love that she understood, apparently.
Oh, yeah, she's fine.
Tyler had a question about Bill Laimbeer.
Was he known to ever be a racist at any point?
I honestly don't know. I don't know that.
I mean, he was a white man in the late 80s, so I'd say probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I honestly don't know because basketball is such a different culture. Like, I think a really good example is like Larry Bird, who you guys obviously know, but he would take it as an insult if a white player guarded him.
Though that does sound racist.
Like it is, but it's reverse racism. So I don't think that Bill Laimbeer probably thought other races suck. He probably thought like my race sucks and I am a fucking avatar to raise people up. You know, it's like I think that basketball is just such a different world. I think that if there is racism, I think it's probably a weird kind that we would not recognize as typical racism. You know what I mean?
Sure. Larry Bird he seems like a nice guy, though. I would think from all his like television and movie appearances. I've never seen him on the court. I've never seen him stomp a man's head into a like puddle.
Yeah, no, I don't think that. I mean, he was from rural Indiana, but I think he seemed like a pretty cool cat.
Nick Kroll is a good Larry Bird.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. So,
and my favorite thing too about now that we're talking about Bird is that the amount of shit talk he would do is amazing. Is like,
Larry Bird would shit talk?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I've heard he's notorious for
really?
that.
He seems like such a nice guy.
Like a quiet, in your face, like cut you to the soul, but as he slapped the basketball out of your hand.
My God. Dave, you just have to like Google Larry Bird trash talk because one of my favorite ones is he's talking to Xavier McDaniel, who was like an all NBA defense player, like a great defender.
Yeah.
And beforehand, he said to him, "Here's what's going to happen. The ball's going to get passed to DJ. It's going to get passed back to me. I'm going to go right there." He pointed to a spot on the court. Said, "I'm going to go right there, and I'm going to shoot a J in your face, and it's going to go in. We're going to win the game. That's what we're going to do." And Xavier was like, there's no way that that's going to happen. That exact thing happened. And then afterwards, Larry Bird came up to him. There was like 0.4 seconds or something like that on the clock. Bird came up to him and said, "I fucked up. I was supposed to not leave any time on the clock." So, so much shit talk.
So maybe Larry Bird wasn't a basketball player. Maybe he was a divination wizard.
Oh my God!
Maybe he just knew.
Well, he came. That's my other favorite one is that whenever I don't remember if it was the first 3-point competition at the All-Star game, but he literally came in and said, "Who's coming in second today?" And he went out there in his shooting jacket, never took his shooting jacket off, and destroyed the competition.
He was wearing penny loafers, I heard.
That wouldn't shock me. That's like guys who can dunk without shoes. It's like you have no idea how hard that shit is.
Yeah, how do they do it without all the air in their shoes that they pump in there?
I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, do we just want to talk about white basketball players? I could do that all day. Tom Gugliotta, you guys, my favorite NBA player of all time.
Yeah, who is that?
Used to play power forward for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was just like he was sort of the prototypical stretch four. I know that term probably doesn't mean anything to you, but I think that
like
early on,
like Mr. Fantastic.
No.
Okay.
He's
Something
the kind
different.
of guy who could shoot 3-pointers and also get into the post. So anyway, that's
like the newspaper, the Post.
Yeah.
He was a well received journalist as well as a basketball player.
He could shoot 3-pointers and also was up for a Pulitzer Prize. For
Yeah, that's impressive. I would be seriously impressed, especially if Larry Bird told him that was going to happen.
Yeah, he's wearing like a fucking fedora cap with like a press pass in the corner of it the whole time.
How many? I have one more question for you, if you don't mind, if you have a minute.
Of course, I do.
How many wolves do you think Bill Laimbeer could fight in
now or in his prime?
In his prime.
Four.
Four
Laimbeer
wolves?
was a monster, dude.
Okay.
Laimbeer was big, and Laimbeer, that's the thing that I continue to come back with wolves is that you can't think of them as puppies. And Laimbeer wouldn't think of them as puppies. Laimbeer would go on the offensive.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't wait for wolves to come at him. He would go and like charge the wolves.
All right. That seems like a lot of wolves.
Yeah, man, but that's a lot of Bill Laimbeer too.
Okay. I don't even know if Spider-Man could beat 4 wolves.
Spider-Man could absolutely beat wolves. Spider-Man could beat wolves as the day is long.
I think he'd have like moral issues with it though.
I think he would probably have moral issues. I think he'd wrap them all up in a web and then like hang them off a light post with a little sign that says "To deliver to New York Zoo."
I don't think he'd send them to the zoo either, but I mean maybe he would in like the 60s or something. I don't think he would now.
Yeah.
Like a wildlife reserve. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Bill Laimbeer.
Canada.
Yeah, exactly. So Bill Laimbeer is essentially Venom, is what we've learned today.
I could see that.
Okay. So who's the Spider-Man to Bill Laimbeer's Venom? Michael Jordan?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I think there was a big rivalry there. I think that makes a lot of sense.
So who's the Vulture then?
Gosh, kind of an old player who plays like he's young.
Or just really, really wants to be young. Yeah.
Moses Malone.
All right.
Who recently passed away. I think Moses Malone, who was like playing in that era and was still like just playing out of his mind.
This is a game that I could play forever. This like just asking you like the parallels. Like, all right, Jacob, who would you say is the Carnage of the NBA?
God, and especially too because this is like the Carnage of the NBA 25 years ago, not the Carnage of the NBA now. Like, it's a lot harder.
Yeah,
it would be easier to do it now, but you know, I try and rise to the occasion.
That's good. Thank you, Jacob.
Of course.
We're gonna let you get back to Galen. See how far she's gotten in Super Mario World. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, bud.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Now we know. Real person. I kind of figured he was a real person.
Yeah.
Because it does seem like a really weird thing to make up for a video game.
And it makes sense that he's an asshole.
Yeah. He looks like an asshole on the title screen. You start it up and it's like he's standing there in shoulder pads and a bra essentially. And he's got like 4 of the I was gonna say hardest looking dudes like for like the early 90s. Like one's got a mohawk and then the rest of them just have flat tops.
They look like Bebop and Rocksteady before the mutagen.
Yeah, they do. They totally do. And then did you ask if Bill Laimbeer was known to be a racist because there's like no black people in this game?
No. Okay, so here's the story of this game. Bill Laimbeer is made commissioner of the NBA.
Is this the real story?
This is the
real story of the game.
From research that I found, this is the story of how we get to 2030. Bill Laimbeer is made commissioner of the NBA. He proceeds to, strike off law, gets rid of all the referees and all the rules, and changes the NBA to become like what he envisions it to be.
So he's Hitler.
So he's
Hitler.
Yeah. So it's this combat basketball because he likes this aggressive play style, and I guess makes it white people only because all the players in this game look exactly the same. Only their colored jerseys are different, but they're all white guys with mohawks. What it looks like playing this game. So yeah, that's why I had to be like, is he racist? Is this the rules? Like, kill each other. No minorities. So,
did he have a mohawk, Jacob? Did he have a mohawk? Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird, really weird fucking story. I love when you say that he got rid of all the rules Well, he didn't get rid of the backcourt rule, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Because like that came up a whole lot. Like there were times. Is that a rule in basketball? Like you're not allowed to turn around and go the other way?
Well, once you cross, to my knowledge, once you cross the half court line, you can't go back again.
Well, see, it was happening to me. Like I would cross. Okay, I figured maybe that was the case, but I would cross the half court line and then like turn around and not cross the line again. It was just like if I went backwards, it was like nope, backcourt. We're taking the beach ball away from you. It's not a basketball.
Because it does look like a beach ball.
It looks like when you like do something, when you open up a whole bunch of stuff on a Mac and the beach ball spins. That's exactly what this ball looks like.
Because, Bill Laimbeer. All right, well, we'll take out double dribbling and walking. Those rules don't count anymore. But I'm going to throw out bombs and money on the floor. Because this game, it is very bad. It's very bad.
Do you hear that, Tyler?
Oh, I do. It's Larry. I think it sounds like Larry Bird quietly trash talking Magic Johnson.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I do hear that. It's like it sounds a little like this. Hey, you know what? You're gonna get really sick. I bet.
I'm gonna duck this so hard.
Yeah,
you're gonna die in like 20 years.
It's gonna be really good.
You're gonna become the face of the disease of the 80s.
Yeah, I do hear that. Which, of course, ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave reads from Wikipedia.
Unusually harsh and prophetic, that Larry Bird.
Okay, guys. Bill Laimbeer's Combat Basketball. It's a futuristic basketball video game released in 1991 by Hudson Soft for the Super Nintendo
Why
Entertainment
Hudson
System.
Soft?
I know. This has got to be like the beginning of the end for Hudson Soft, right?
I mean, they didn't close until 2012.
Something like that. Yeah, pretty recently.
But
here's an interesting fact.
this was their AIDS. So
You ready for this? This was the first basketball game released for the SNES.
oh man.
Oh, how many disappointed people do you think are out there? Where it's like, oh
man.
man, new system. This is gonna be awesome.
Can't wait to get
this is gonna be great.
basketball.
And I like to think Hudson Soft was like, we have to release this first. There's no way that we can release this game like after any other basketball game because we will sell absolutely no copies. I feel like all the copies of this were sold just on the one fact that it was the only basketball game that people could play on the Super Nintendo for a while.
Man, you're probably right.
Let's see. The game stars Bill Laimbeer. Oh, look at this. We just read it. Who played for the Detroit Pistons of the NBA during a time when the team was notorious for aggressive and physical play. They were bad boys.
Okay.
The game takes place in the year 2030. Like you said, Bill Laimbeer has become commissioner of a basketball league,
Okay.
fired the referees, and created a style of play without rules. Very much like you said. There are no fouls, and use of weapons is perfectly legal. You just can't go back. You just can't turn around. You're just not allowed to.
This
I'll
had
go
to be developed for a different system originally and then just got ported to the Super Nintendo.
Like the Atari, maybe?
Yeah.
Because there's
You only
One
use
button?
one button, the
one
D-pad and the B button, and that's it. It makes no fucking sense. No fucking sense. I mean, even on the Nintendo, you could have made use of A and B and made this game much better. The controls, well, one, the camera style, it's over the top.
It's like Smash TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bird's eye
And
view.
That
You're
does
looking down.
not work for a basketball game. It just doesn't, because it makes shooting and passing and seeing like where the ball is going, it makes it very, very difficult.
Well, you can't see, and you don't see the whole court at one time, which does make it like really hard to pass the ball very far at all because you can't see the other players who are down court. So that's a huge pain in the ass.
So it looks like, one, I guess all of the combat basketball courts are on the Technodrome.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that because that was actually in my notes. Is there more than one court?
No, not that I ever encountered.
Because I didn't either. It was all that same like just corrugated
Sheet
metal.
yeah. And yeah, just the same sheet metal court. All right, go ahead, shave your mohawk, paint it orange, put on these orange pads. All right, now we've got blue team.
Right.
Make your mohawks all white guys. Okay, good. Bring them in. All right, all blue mohawks. Put on your blue spandex, like old style basketball jerseys and some shoulder pads. You guys, we don't need a center anymore, so we don't need any more tall guys. You can all be the same height. What we've done is we've made this ball ejection machine. So
It looks like a siege tank.
Yeah.
It just rolls out.
it's like serves no other purpose but to throw the ball in the air. Because there are the players have different names and they have stats.
They do?
Yeah.
Really?
And you can, in league mode, you can pick up the coins on the ground and upgrade people's stats and trade in and get new players. And they say their stats are different. No one is everyone, no matter what you fucking do, they all shoot the same, pass the same, they're the same speed. It's like you're just playing, it's like multiplicity on plays basketball. It's just like you're four badass Michael Keatons on the Technodrome pushing each other around.
What do you mean badass Michael Keatons? I feel like they're just Michael Keatons. You don't have to say badass. It's implied.
Four Jack Frost kind of badass Michael Keatons.
How would you know which one you upgraded? They don't have numbers. Like they all look identical.
Exactly. So it's awful. It's awful because, okay, normally, so the B button is used for everything: to shove, to use weapons, to pass, to shoot, and it's all just based on the D-pad. So if you're moving and press the B button, you pass.
Or if you don't have the ball and you're moving and you hit the B button, you do a tackle.
Yeah.
Which it's really the only way to speed up in the game. There's no run.
Yeah.
That I found, right?
No.
I mean, that's all just you're walking.
Yeah, everybody goes the same speed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no, like, at least in NBA Jam, the stamina meter. So
Yeah, and you get turbo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's none of that.
Nope. And God, this game is so bad. It just doesn't make any sense. And the passing, like, you just, like, you'll throw it to the closest player, and then right before it gets to you, it switches, like, control. So there's no, like, but you don't know where your second player is just running. You don't control them until right before they get the ball. So there's no, like, strategic setting up and passing if you're just, like, playing one-on-one with 2-on-2.
There is a mini map, which is interesting because, I mean, that kind of, I felt like it was kind of a new thing for that time, right? But it's impossible to use is the problem.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's no way that you can see like, oh, okay, I've got a player here. I'm just going to throw the ball. Because invariably, I'd throw the ball, and then by the time the ball got there, that player has moved. I don't have any control over him. You would think that the player would like, the AI would kind of be like, oh, a ball's coming towards me. Maybe I should try to like get in between it and the out of bounds area, which there's like a foot. You got like a foot from the line to like just this wall.
Yeah, exactly. It's the weird thing. I'm going to draw a weird comparison.
Please,
because
we
I
need that.
I know nothing about what I'm saying right now. I just
Great.
know about
Perfect.
what I've seen. Arena football. It looks like an arena football court in which it's like football being played in a gym with very small sidelines and very small stands.
And
Because
tiny balls as well. The football's like a quarter of the size.
Yeah.
It's like, when you get those little footballs.
The
at
Nerf
at a
footballs?
festival or something. Yeah, they play with those. And it's exclusively, you cannot play unless you are 4'11". That's the cutoff.
So it's like they're always on Scooby Doo.
Scrappy Doo?
No, the basketball team.
The Harlem Globetrotters.
Harlem Globetrotters. Like
Yeah.
the Harlem Globetrotters in the 30s. They're just all 4'11" white guys.
The Harlem Globetrotters, I've ever told you they came to my school once.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came to my school and played against the teachers. It was probably the best day of school ever. I'm not gonna lie. It was
Man,
pretty
that is
awesome.
pretty awesome. I remember it's a Kids in the Hall skit where they talk about how pure the Harlem Globetrotters were in
I
the
remember
30s, and they were known for their fanciful play, which it was just 6 white guys throwing the ball to each other. Man, I miss that show. But this game, and you can play it in like weird segments. Like they're not like quarters or anything. It's just
It's halves.
halves. They're allotments of time. So you can play like from anywhere to 5-minute games to 30-minute games.
Yeah. I don't know why you want to play this game that long.
No, I don't know either.
Can I say something weird?
Yeah, please.
I didn't think this was a horrible game. I felt like it was pretty bad, but I don't think it was like Bebe's Kids has got to be worse than this game. I have not played Bebe's Kids, but it has got to be worse than this game because, like, at least here's the thing with Bill Laimbeer's Combat Basketball. At least I was able to play a couple games and like get through it. I actually won one of the games, so I mean, it's like okay, that's okay. This is playable. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, and I'm sure it would have been different playing it when it came out because it would have felt like a complete and total ripoff. But now that I played this game like in 2015 and I can like play it like super casually and really not judging it that heavily, or it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, I'll just play this thing and I'll just hit the B button a lot and see what happens. I didn't think it was horrible. I guarantee you Baby's Kids has got to be worse than this game.
We'll see.
It's got to be.
I mean, I'm glad we've made it back to the Super Nintendo after a while. This is our triumphant return to the Super Nintendo.
Maybe that's actually why I kind of liked it a little bit. I don't want to say I liked it, but maybe it's why I didn't think it was horrible. Because it's a Super Nintendo game. Like, this is where I live, man. Super Nintendo games. It's just kind of like, at least it's not an N64 game. All right, I've only got one button, but whatever. We'll make it work.
And this, I can't imagine, like, being a sports fan. This is the first basketball game to come out. Because I can see what they were trying to do. Like, I feel like the rough style of play, like, what, arch rivals for the regular Nintendo?
Yeah, for NES.
That have the shove mechanic and rough play style. So like I said, like, let's take that. But who's like the worst? Bill Laimbeer, yeah.
Who is allegedly the biggest racist in basketball? Allegedly, it's Bill Laimbeer. I'm kind of worried Bill Laimbeer is gonna. Can we edit that out? I don't want him to like come to the annex.
I'm gonna turn your volume up.
I don't want him to come to the annex and rough us up.
Bill Laimbeer, we're calling you out.
Who do you think would win in a fight, Bill Laimbeer or Christian Laettner?
I hope Bill Laimbeer.
You hope, yeah.
I still hope Bill Laimbeer. I would watch. I would sit here and eat vinegar pie gleefully and watch Bill Laimbeer just beat the shit out of Christian Laettner.
I believe you've been eating a lot of that vinegar pie.
Yeah,
you like that vinegar pie.
Mm-hmm. But other than like playing with a friend and then like the league play and trying to upgrade your players for no real reason. That's this game.
You're done, huh?
Yeah.
You're done.
I don't know what else to say about it because there's not a lot of depth. All the characters are the same. There aren't a ton of options. Don't run over bombs. They'll knock you down.
Do you know what the power-ups are all about? Because I couldn't figure that out. Because there's like...
I just know don't run over anything is all I learned.
Well, see, some things I ran over and it didn't kill me. Because, like, there's our circular saws that would just appear randomly. I thought that was kind of interesting. They were, like, homing circular saws. Home Depot is, like, selling out of these in 2030. It's just like, I don't know. You want the pet-seeking model or would you like the basketball player-seeking model?
Bill Laimbeer got really into the Spider-Man villain arcade, like a whole lot. So he decided to incorporate a lot of arcades designs into his basketball league.
There was this, like, black hockey puck or something that spun around on the ground. I picked that up a few times. I don't know what it did. There's another thing that like it was red, white, and blue and had a P in the middle of it. Don't know what that did. That didn't kill
patriotism. Me. It made you feel good about the United States.
Or the United States of Bill Laimbeer, of course. This is all his plot. The league that he's created is going to become his own nation.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And I guess, really, God, I'm glad Jacob knew who he was, but, like, as far as, like, the big-name people who get basketball games, like, that's still a weird choice.
I don't think a lot of people know who he is. Come on. Really?
I get Michael Jordan. I get Barkley.
Sure.
I get...
Shaq.
Yeah. I get Johnson and Bird. Like, I understand all that. Like, so I don't understand, like, this guy.
No, I don't. I still kind of don't believe he's a real person.
Like, I would have preferred, like, Danny Ainge to have had his own game.
Who is that?
I only know Danny Ainge from his time playing with the Suns because I like
My three sons?
my three sons. I like short guys that are really good at threes, and he was one of them.
Okay.
Danny Ainge and John Stockton, because I was into the NBA in the mid '90s, like really into the NBA.
Right. Like
So
you
that's-
played in the NBA. You
I
were
played.
in the NBA.
I mean, all my short stories were about me playing in the NHL, but
You were in Bill
I
Laimbeer's
actually
NBA.
played.
The National Bill Laimbeer
I was-
Association?
I was one of the Laimbeer youths. You have any achievements?
No. No, of course I don't.
I've got two. One being they do nothing, and that is upgrade a player, all their stats.
Or just pick up power-ups, maybe?
Yeah,
I
there
don't know.
you go. That's fine too. And then just wait for it, and you unlock that by playing a 30-minute game because clearly you're waiting for something to happen. I don't know what.
I do have an achievement now, and it's called You Touched It Last. Check this out. This is a really cool story. When I won a game, here's how I won it. So you can throw a ball out of bounds in this game, and it happens a lot because the players don't fucking catch the ball. So here's the deal. The opponent threw the ball out of bounds. Kind of. Here's what happens. The ball, this happened to me a lot. Please tell me this happened to you too. The ball would go out of bounds, quote unquote, but it would just sit there on the white line. And whoever would pick it up, like if I would go and pick it up, I would pick it up out of bounds. So it would just say out of bounds, and then the ball would turn over to the opponents. Apparently the opponent knew this too because they weren't picking the ball up. The ball sat on the white line for 3 minutes. I refused to pick it up because I knew as soon as I did, it was going to be out of bounds.
Yeah.
And I guess the computer knew that too. I was ahead. I just sat there. We just sat there. The time ran down, and then I won.
Oh man, that's good. That's really good. That is like playing Magic the Gathering with Sean McElwain. Oh man, that's
The filibuster.
You touch it.
Just
No, you touch it.
filibustered the game. I don't know. That is actually. Can I take back the thing where I said I didn't think it was that bad? Because that seems like a pretty big
that's
design
really
flaw.
bad. So I get for a game that like, I mean, I guess that's pretty buggy. That's pretty bad. But like for a game that's not like fundamentally designed, like just poorly programmed.
No, it's not. It's not designed well. It's not programmed well. Yeah. I think it's just because it's a Super Nintendo game that it kind of felt good. It's really weird to say, but it did feel good to play it. Mm-hmm. It really did.
So you're gonna have this be the same way. Like after we get stranded on a desert island, can only have sex with each other, and then going back to having sex with women again. It's been a while. It just felt good. She was gross, but man, it felt good to be with a woman again.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
it's been a show. I don't know if this has been a good one or not. I really can't tell. I feel like this is kind of a weak one.
I mean, we knew it was gonna be bad. We straight up knew this was gonna be a bad game, but like
We did not know it was going to be a bad episode.
well, we didn't know how bad and just how like there's nothing to this game.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing to talk about besides like
No,
this
we explained it.
surface level how bad it is.
Oh, yeah,
Other
we
than that,
explained
there's
it.
no like
No, it's-
there's no depth to it.
No, we explained it. I feel like,
There's more depth to my mobile games than there is to this game.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, okay. All right. So we should probably end this. And so if you were to give this, Tyler. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
If you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
I would give it the barely there wispy like peach fuzzy side mustache where it's only like on the sides of your mouth, like right above your lip. Nothing in the middle
Like
of
the
this
samurai,
mustache.
like the samurai thing, where they just have it like at the corners of their mouth.
Maybe
I don't know if it's wispy.
of Saul Smith. Saul Smith being Tubby Smith, the coach of UK basketball after Rick Pitino.
Yeah,
He won the year he started because he played with Rick Pitino's team. After that, he just fucking shit the bed and ruined Kentucky basketball. It got to the point where we went from the top team in the nation, back-to-back championship-winning team, to not even ranked. He was just a shitty coach. And for some reason, he always played his son, Saul. Mm-hmm. And his son, Saul, is terrible. He is Jacob will defend him, but, like, even Jacob can, like...
Let's call him.
He wants to defend him, but can't defend him that much because, like, this guy's like a starting senior and is always dribbling off his feet, and like it's like starting me. It's like you are you still like super overweight? Okay, yeah, come on in. Can you? I mean, I don't care if you want to run 20 seconds. It's fine. I don't care.
He's not Bill Laimbeer material. Is what you're saying.
He was god awful, but he's the coach's son. He always gets to play, and he's so bad. So yeah, his shitty little like peach fuzz mustache.
I am not gonna lie. I really enjoyed that part of UK basketball history because like when
we were bad.
Yeah, because when it happened, I still barely give a shit, honestly. And it was like I was just surrounded by these people who just that was their thing. Like that was their thing. UK basketball was it. Like that was their hobby.
Yeah.
Like they didn't play basketball. They just like watched basketball and talked about basketball. And it was just like nonstop. Even when it was not basketball season, they would talk about like the next season. And I guess I'm just such a hateful person that like got on my nerves because it was just like, I'm not into this. And it is just so fucking annoying that like, everyone's just talking about it. Everyone. And it's like, I can't get into it. I've tried to get into it. I don't enjoy it. So I remember when he first started and like people were going crazy. And I was like, yeah, all right. And then I do remember like the next year where it was just like, I mean, it was just like on a dime it flipped. There was like people just like had pitchforks and torches. And I loved it. I loved it because it was just like, come on, guys. Seriously? This is beautiful. You loved this guy last year.
Yeah. Because that's really all he did was just like, do I still have all the guys that Patino recruited? Great. I'm going to do the exact same thing that he did. Win a championship. Everybody thinks I'm awesome. I get a good paycheck.
Yeah.
All right. This year, they all went to the NBA.
Saul.
My son has hands and feet. We'll play him.
Achievement unlocked. Better call Saul.
Yeah, but it must have been weird. Like for those few years, Kentucky wasn't even ranked. Where like people like, what do we do now?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry that I enjoyed that so much. I do feel a little guilty about it, but whew, man, that was fun for me. It really was. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses would you give it?
Well, it's a pair of glasses. Let's just say it's two young kids, and they somehow got a hold of a bunch of liquor, and they're young and they're drunk and they're being super silly.
That's so silly.
They're so silly, and they're in some sort of like a hospital.
Okay,
they're in a hospital and they're drunk.
An abandoned hospital?
No, it's a fully functioning hospital, and they're running from room to room, just like knocking stuff over and being silly and drunk. And they go into a laboratory, and one kid goes over and grabs a pair of vials, and then
a pair of vials,
and he holds them up to his eyes like he's looking through them, just being drunk and silly.
Yeah.
And when he does that, the contents of the vials spill all over his face.
Yeah.
Inside the vial, they're vials of Magic Johnson's blood. And they get into the drunk kid's eyes.
Yeah.
So I give it the drunk little kid Magic Johnson's blood in his eyes vial glasses. It was a long walk. I'm glad you went there with me.
No, I was happy to go on that journey with you. I'm glad I found out at the end of the story why they were in a hospital. Yeah. Hey, stay out of that room. It's full of Magic Johnson's blood. You can't stop acting so silly. That's the Magic Johnson blood room.
We don't go in there.
We keep 2 vials of his blood. Just There.
Uncapped, just unlabeled right there. Don't pretend they're glasses.
Whatever you do, stop being silly.
Who gave those kids whiskey? It was Larry Bird.
People are sick, kids. Stop being silly.
I don't care what Larry Bird told you to do.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I got another question.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how much this game is on Amazon. If you were to buy this game right now on Amazon used, how much do you think you would pay for it?
$4.
$4?
$4 American dollars.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
Actual retail value of Bill Laimbeer's Combat Basketball, not college basketball. That's much more expensive. For the Super Nintendo used on Amazon at the time of this recording is 1 cent. 1 cent.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's the cost of model land.
yeah, it is. Oh, man.
Any idea? Want to take a guess how much it is new?
$4.
$4,000. It's $32.49.
Wow.
Pretty big range there.
That's not bad. That would go well side by side with my complete inbox Shaq Fu. Oh man.
How do you think where does this game rank compared to Shaq Fu?
Shaq Fu is better than this game. I like sit down and beat Shaq Fu. Like I couldn't play very much of it. Clearly, I didn't make it to a half in this game. I thought it was so bad. So there you go.
But you could just let the time run out in this game, Tyler. It feels like that's a perfect strategy game.
But Shaq can't throw a basketball. To be fair, I think Magic Johnson's a very good basketball player. I know we hit that nail pretty hard throughout the course of this show.
Despite all the blood that hospital took.
I guess if Whitney Cummings could tell jokes and South Park could do episodes, I feel like, all right, it's fair game to talk about.
We're just as funny.
I'd put us in that category.
We're clearly we're just as funny. We got it. People know we're joking.
Oh, man. I think we should take some calls.
Yeah, you want to take some calls?
Yeah.
Why is that?
To redeem the previous parts of this episode. I mean, it helped with Leather Goddesses. That was a shit show until we took calls, and I thought it was pretty good.
No, that show was bad all around. This was not as bad as Leather Goddesses of Phobos.
Well, we just didn't know what we were in for when we said, like, let's play combat basketball.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great episode. Jacob was on. We had like a billion age jokes. There's like a billion of them.
That's the TADPOG signatory.
You know, like South Park.
Oh, we're both dressed like Tom Hanks in Philadelphia right now. It's really fucked up.
I got confused and actually dressed up like Forrest Gump. Sorry. He had AIDS too, right? He got it from Jenny.
Oh, man.
Guys, I feel like Tom Hanks is kind of typecast.
I guess it's topical right now because it's a treatment for AIDS that guy bought the copyright for.
Topical treatment? You just like rub it? You just rub it on your skin?
I don't know how it works. I believe it's a pill that was like $13, and Martin Shekel bought it, raised the price to $750 a pill
right.
for HIV treatment. Yeah. So at least we're on point in some way.
All right. You know what I love to think about is that Jacob's gonna like listen to this episode and like he is not. I don't think he's really gonna appreciate all the age jokes.
Nope.
No. Sorry, Jacob. All right. Here's a call. It's from 904.
Jordan Morale here. Got a would you rather? So, if you were to use a set of anal beads, would you rather an extra ball came out? It could be your choice of what it is, or one less. That's it.
All right. Thanks for calling 904. Tyler, did you understand any of that?
I heard anal beads.
And a wet one came out?
That's what like
Yeah, it sounded like a wet one.
I heard him say, "Would you rather have one less or a wet one come out?"
I'm gonna go with a wet one. right?
Yeah.
I don't want one of those up in there.
At least the wet one's popping out, I guess.
Yeah, wet ones coming out real easy. Real easy. I guess it depends on who's pulling them out. I mean, right? Is the doctor pulling it out? I mean, probably leave one in there then.
At least get what you're paying for.
Is Tyler pulling it out on a desert island? Definitely wet one.
Let us know if we were right in how we heard you on that question.
Also, did he say his name was Short Round?
I think that's Jordan.
Oh, there's Jordan Meow.
Jordan Meow.
Sorry, Jordan. We couldn't understand you. But I'm going to go with the wet one anyway because I like how it sounds. All right, let's see. We got a text message. This is from 412 who says, "Hey, do you guys want to join us for Beer Fest? I'm the Monster Party, not Inca guy." Yeah. I mean, is it still going on?
He's still doing Beer Fest.
It's July. He said they're July 21st. Yeah, I'll go to Beer Fest. Is that a big thing? Or is it like a local?
It depends.
Local 412 Beer Fest, or is that like Oktoberfest?
Oktoberfest only in July. July Fest.
Or maybe he knew we weren't going to read it until September.
Until time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to go to Oktoberfest.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm glad you're willing to fly us out to Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate thing. Thank you. Yeah, we're absolutely
We're in. 2 tickets, please. All right, here's a call from 270.
Well, hello, TADPOG. Hello. This is Taryn. How are you guys doing? Hope you're well.
Good. We had a great show today, Taryn.
I'll tell you a little story about what just happened to me at your favorite place in the world, Burger King. So I don't go to fast food places. I just don't. Not a big fan of them. I mean, I do like specific things and specific ones, but it is 1 billion degrees here in Texas today, and there is
She
a
should be
Burger
dead.
King right by the hospital that I work at.
Where they keep all Magic Johnson's blood.
I thought on my way out today, it would be a great idea to stop and get a milkshake because it's 4 billion degrees.
Mm-hmm.
It was 1 billion a second ago,
I
Taryn.
went into the Burger King. This was not a drive-through order.
Yeah, there's
So
your first mistake.
Face to face with the young lady who is texting on her phone during her job, and I go, "Hi, how are you?" You know, my normal, nice little sweet Southern Belle self. And I said, "It's really hot. What kind of milkshake do you have?" She says, "Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, Oreo." I said, "I would love a strawberry milkshake. Do you want whipped cream on your strawberry milkshake?" "Yes." I wait a few minutes, come back out. She sets the milkshake down in front of me, still texting the whole time, and it's motherfucking chocolate. Did I want chocolate? No. Did I want strawberry? Yes. I don't know why this has upset me so much, but it has. Because it's 4 billion degrees, and all I wanted was a strawberry milkshake.
Because it's 18 billion
So I'll
degrees.
ask you a question, because that's what you do, right?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite dessert at
Vinegar pie.
of your favorite fast food joint? If you've already answered this, then so be it. This is just me bitching. But you guys, suck the Burger King dick all the time. So I'm going to give it a try, and that's what happens. That's what happens when I choose to eat fast food. I took like 2 sips out of it, and it was terrible, and I've already thrown it away. That's the end of the rent. I'm going home to sit in my freezer. I hope I see you guys soon. Talk to you later. Bye.
I hope we see you soon too. By the way, I'd love to use that in our tweet that promotes this episode. The one where we suck Burger King's dick.
That's all we do. I'd say we suck more Taco Bell dick than we do Burger King dick.
I don't know. Not today.
We didn't praise their chicken tacos, yeah. Well, I feel like her mistake was not getting an Oreo shake.
First mistake was don't go inside Burger King. Are you out of your mind?
Unless you have kids and it's a play place, don't go inside Burger King.
No one does that. You should never go into a fast food restaurant unless you're on a road trip. That's the only excuse. I don't care how many billion degrees it is.
Favorite dessert? At Dairy Queen, I enjoy the Georgia Mud Fudge Blizzard the most.
Yeah. I like a Blizzard. Blizzard's pretty good. They got this like peanut butter cookie dough Blizzard
Okay.
that I just had the other day. Pretty good. After eating a whole bunch of barbecue at the Barbecue in the River Festival that we have here every year. It's not a beer fest.
I never get desserts. Generally at most fast food places, I avoid the desserts except for McDonald's. I like a McFlurry.
Ugh.
Dairy Queen, I like a Blizzard.
No way, man.
McFlurry is a gamble, though. I used to get strictly Oreo, then I tried M&M. I was like, that's pretty good. But most of the time, it's just M&M like on the top quarter inch, and the rest is just vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, and they used I don't know if they still do, but they used to use the minis. The M&M. Ugh, that's awful.
I like the
the
minis.
shell to chocolate ratio is way the fuck off in those things. Too much chocolate, not enough shell.
It's like you're eating ladybugs. It's fine.
The Ladybug McFlurry, yes, please.
Thanks for your call, Taryn. She's supposedly next Monday. We will have Taryn back for our next Other Shit Monday.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Don't fucking hold us to it, because
That's
we're going to
true.
do a show regardless of whether she's here or not. All right, we got time for another one?
Yeah.
All right. This is from 614. Here's what Google Translate says right off the bat. Todd, hi. So I really hope this is a message for Todd.
Fucking TADPOG with SoundCloud fan Kyle. And I'm kind of upset and also very embarrassed right now. I was listening to your old episode as I do, and I got to the Rescue Pops Ghostly. And I was listening to the intro story, and I was like, yeah, this is like the greatest intro story they've ever told. This is the one that I show all of my friends. I've shown my wife. The story that really shows how awesome these guys are and how cool their friends are, the crazy things they've done. And then I come to realize that it was an April Fool's joke. Has joked me since April, and it's mid-July right now, end of July. So I don't know what I was thinking. I heard everything, and the Gene Wilder, the rest of the Wolves, and I was like, man, Jake's the badass. That's so freaking cool. And like I said, told my friends about it. Just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then today, re-listening, I heard Dave say something about being 4 years old, and it all clicked in my head all at the same time. And I just sat there, kind of felt really defeated, and I just didn't know what to do. So, thanks for that.
I know you should play Pops Ghostly. That'd be my recommendation.
Yeah.
It always picks me up.
Because Jacob and I did so much cocaine with Gene Wilder. And then Gene Wilder might have fucked Jacob while I was passed out. That's good. That was tastefully gratifying.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for calling. 614. Did you catch his name? I think
He said Kyle. It kind of,
Okay.
the phone kind of
cut out a little bit. He called back. Let's see. This is the same day. Let's see what's up.
And the Action Max, when you guys said that, I had never heard of it, and I was very excited. I was like, oh my gosh, a system I've never heard of. I didn't listen to this on April 1st. I listened to this like a couple days afterwards. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, the Action Max, what is that? I'm at work, and I start Googling it, and I keep looking for a list, and I can't find any. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. They're going to do this game system I've never heard of, and it looks really unique, and it's going to be really cool. And I was very excited about it. And then the next episode or something, I realized that, and I figured that one out, and I felt pretty embarrassed. I didn't call about that one. And I figured that out. I don't get it. I don't know why I believed that story for so long about the Action Max lie a couple days afterwards, but I just kept believing the story. So,
God, thank you. God, thank you for calling us.
yes.
Here, can I tell you something to make you feel better? I'm going to tell you something that's going to make you feel better. Tyler, do you remember a couple months ago where I told you about Duckman RPG?
Yes.
Now, you're familiar with the show Duckman.
Very.
It was a show, I guess, on USA or something like that, right?
Really late at night. Yep.
Yeah, an animated show. And I heard about the Duckman RPG on a podcast, and I've sent you some information about it. I was like, I'm definitely going to look into the Duckman RPG.
Tabletop.
Tabletop role-playing game. Yeah, not a video game. that was an April Fool's joke. So I had that same fucking feeling. The podcast it's a podcast called System Mastery. They were that was their April Fool's joke, is that they talked about the Duckman RPG, and it did not help that it was the first episode of their show that I listened to. So it was just like, okay, I mean, I don't know anything about these guys. All right, man, there's a Duckman RPG, cool. And they like break down everything and like hear the stats, and like it's like a game where you actually are trying to fuck over the other players. And I was like, that's really good. That's like Duckman. It could totally 100% an April Fool's Day joke. So there you go. I hope that makes you feel better.
I like. Thank you. That was a very, very good call. I feel better about myself and life, all at your expense. Thank you.
I'm not sure I believe you. I think you're.
He's trying to troll us now.
I think you're pulling our leg. Especially because like the Gene Wilder stuff, I don't see anyone believing that. The action mags like Pops Ghostly, that really exists. So that's a thing.
Well, Gene Wilder also really exists.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
He was CGI in Willy Wonka. And
We got time for more?
yeah, let's do some more. Fuck it.
This is from 757.
What's up, TADPOG? Saturday long, Saturday morning, driving to work. Just finished the Banjo-Kazooie episode. Since the last time I called, I have listened to the Mega Man X2 episode with Sean, and I also listened to the All Calls episode with Jorge and Meg. I liked having both of them on the show. They're both pretty funny.
It's a good episode.
I enjoyed that episode, and Banjo-Kazooie was a good episode as well. Enjoyed hearing you guys talk about it. I didn't think you were going to love it, but I was glad to hear that you liked it better than Banjo too. One thing I will say, I'm a little devastated on the inside because Nicole basically busted her lady nut all over this game and then let us know she was faking it because she's never actually finished the game. So that's sad to me. But my question for you guys and whoever else is on the show when you talk about this is, what game have you busted your nut over for people but have never actually finished it? My game is, sadly, Ocarina of Time on Nintendo 64. I love the game. I think it's probably one of the top 5 games of all time.
I hear it's
probably
awful.
One of the top 2 N64 games of all time. It's probably listed as number 1 on Dorkly. But
It is.
it just wasn't in my wheelhouse as a kid. I played Mario 64 a whole lot more, and then never had it in my library, played it at friends' houses that loved it, and I've owned it as an adult, but just have never sunk the hours in. Being 31 years old, you don't have the hours to sink into games as much as you do anymore. And
I know.
if I take a few hours in between each level, I'll forget what I'm doing. So, sadly, Ocarina of Time is definitely one of the best games and one of my favorite games of all time, even though I haven't finished. So, I would love to hear what you guys have on that list, and keep doing what you're doing. Excited to hear more from you guys. I'll call back in a few days. Love you guys. Sexy marmosets.
Thanks for calling, Adam. We love you too. I am having a hard time coming up with something because we kind of had a discussion about this on the mics. Because Nicole received some criticism on Facebook saying pretty much the same thing. That someone found that it was odd that she loved a game that she didn't finish. I get that. I really do. My point of view is, man, video games are so much longer than like a movie or even a lot of books. I mean, so like I get it. But on the other hand, I can't think of a game that I have openly talked about loving and not finished. Although, you want to prove me wrong? We got like 246 episodes you can go back. Find one where I said, I really enjoyed this game. And I probably didn't finish it. So, I mean, I get it. But like as far as like the big ones go, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Solomon's Key for me. I really, really enjoy Solomon's Key. I only played it because when I first got my Wii and heard about the Virtual Console, I didn't know they were slowly doling out the games, like mostly starting with just like shitty unknown titles before they got to anything I gave a shit about playing with. I thought that you get in, turn on the Virtual Console, and it'd be Nintendo's library.
Yeah.
You just download them. And I was super excited. And I remember I bought like $40 in Wii points, and I redeemed them all and sat down, turned on the virtual console day one, and it's like
4 games.
3 or
something
4
like- yeah.
games. I bought all of them because, like, well, fuck it. One of them happened to be Solomon's Key. I had never heard of it, had never played it. Out of all of those games, that's the only one I enjoyed. And I really, really enjoyed it. But it is incredibly difficult. I think there are like 40 levels, 50 levels, and I think I've gotten like level 16 maybe. So like I really enjoyed that puzzle game. I've recommended it to people, but no, I've not come even close to beating that game.
I guess, I mean, I've never gotten the kill screen on Pac-Man, so I guess Pac-Man maybe.
Yeah.
Warcraft 3. I love the Warcraft series, but I've never beaten Warcraft 3. I've never finished it because I'm not good at it. Just like I play the shit out of Heroes of the Storm. Not good at it at all. So, I mean, stuff like that.
I enjoy Mario 2, and
Super
I've
Mario
never
Brothers
beaten
2.
Mario Brothers 2.
You've never beaten Mario Brothers 2?
Nope.
We can fix that.
No,
We can fix that.
I feel like I need to support Nicole and not
Okay.
beat it.
All right, that's fine.
This is me
That's
supporting
fine.
Nicole.
Actually, you should just start saying that you love Star Wars.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I guess
I've never beaten Sonic the Hedgehog, any of them, but I've played them a lot.
You've never beaten any of the Sonic
Never
the
beaten
Hedgehog
any,
games?
not beaten a single Sonic the Hedgehog.
I think they're generally harder than like Mario games.
Because
I think
usually
Sonic
I'll
games
get
are harder.
past like the water level, and that drains so much out of me. It's just like, okay, I'm good.
I beat Sonic 1, Sonic the Hedgehog, the first one,
Yeah.
and the first one, and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on Game Gear. Those are the only 2 Sonic games I've
Man, the
beaten.
one on Game Gear. I mean, get past that first level with all your lives intact, you're pretty good.
You're good. Yeah.
But, fuck.
That's a good question.
Yeah. We can do another one.
Okay.
Why not?
Sure. What would Bill Laimbeer do?
Jay, punch one of us out and just do all the questions.
Here's a text message from 270. He says, Dunnigan's : here with a would you rather. Would you rather motorboat Paul Kluel's sneeze tits or motorboat the Huddle House old tits, a la no sneeze?
Old tits.
Old tits?
They were old, but they weren't terrible.
That was a fast
old
answer.
tits, yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm going to defer to your judgment on that. I'm going to go with old tits as well. I haven't seen Paul Kluel's sneeze tits.
Yeah, it
So-
depends on how mucusy they truly were.
I don't mind a little mucus. I don't mind. I get
Yeah.
in there. But I don't know. We about done?
Yeah, I think that'd probably be it. That could be it.
Was that the done sniffle?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. So don't miss the next episode. We'll be talking about Super Smash Brothers for the N64.
I hadn't heard of that one.
Me either. I don't know.
Is that Bill Laimbeer's Smash Brothers?
Bill Laimbeer Smash Brothers. Where it's just punch out, where no one else can hit Bill Laimbeer, and he just one hit knockouts everybody. iTunes, biggest marketplace, makes the biggest impact. We need those 5-star written reviews. It helps us out tremendously. You subscribing to the show helps out. Everything positive you can do on iTunes goes miles. So please subscribe. Leave us a 5-star written review. Try to give you a little incentive there. So if there's a game you want us to play or a guest host you want for a certain episode, include that in your written 5-star review, and we promise we will get to that eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. We're going to be talking about Bill Laimbeer's Super Smash Brothers. In the meantime, you can always find us on tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. You can find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/tadpog. There's a lot of cool people there doing a lot of cool shit. What did you think about Bill Laimbeer's combat basketball? Was it a good follow-up to Bill Laimbeer's college basketball? What do you think? Did it live up? Did it live up to the hype?
Bill Laimbeer's Streets of Rage was really good.
Were you one of the early adopters? Or did you have your SNES and you're like, yeah, basketball, and you went out and you threw down your hard saved allowance? You didn't eat lunch in the cafeteria for weeks.
That
You just-
happened.
You
You know
just
that
took
happened
that
to
$2
somebody.
and you just kept it. You didn't eat for a month, and then you plopped down your $60, bought Bill Laimbeer's combat basketball retail price, brought it home. You're like, yes, first basketball game on the SNES. You turned it on, and were you like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, Oh, that happened.
Did that happen to
somebody.
you? Let us know. Let us know on Facebook. That's the perfect place. Tyler will make an episode post, and that's where you can let us know all this stuff. You can find us on Twitter. We're at TADPOG_podcast. It's cumbersome, I realize. Thank you for everybody who is retweeting us, especially our episode tweets, because that helps spread the word. And do you know somebody who might like the show? Maybe not this episode in particular, but generally we do pretty good stuff. Let them know. Let them know. Tell a friend. It's a tell a friend program. You can call us if you want. If you want to be one of the cool people who leaves us a voicemail or sends us a text, feel free to do that at 270-883-2555. We do have a Patreon where people are donating. I want to take a moment and like really thank everybody who has donated on Patreon. We just released the bonus episode, our first bonus episode for Patreon donors on this past Friday, the Too Hot for Two Dudes and an S episode. And a lot of people have jumped in and donated, and that's a good feeling. I love that there's things that people want to listen to, and they're willing to not eat lunch in the cafeteria for one day and give us some money. So that's
hopefully you're old enough. Just don't give your child lunch money for one day.
Yeah. Look, they can afford to lose the weight, probably, right? So thank you very, 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 very
It's
much.
just a form you fill out for free lunches, and then you can it's fine.
It's fine. It's not a big deal. Specifically, I want to thank, I'm going to butcher some names here, so I apologize. Philip Wiseman.
Ian Chandler.
Brandon Dressler. Time Lord Josh Edwards.
Okay. I remember he said like something happened with his credit card, so he had to throw back in.
Ryan Walters. He's back. He sent us a message on Twitter saying, don't mess up again. Something like that.
So either he messed up or we messed up. I don't know.
That we definitely messed up. So former master of corn.
You got my money again. Don't fuck it up.
And Mike Sheila, something like that. Sorry, Mike. I do not know how to read names. So thank you all very much for donating. That's awesome. We will continue to do bonus episodes. Found that Zork episode I thought we lost. So that's good.
Yeah, so that'll be next month.
That'll be coming out. So Josh and Nicole will be pleased that I didn't lose the audio that they took time out of their evening to do with us.
Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive.
Yeah.
I'll link to that track in the show notes, tadpog.com.
Yeah. It's there.
How do you want to close this out, Dave?
Like two silly drunk kids in the hospital?
Absolutely.
Good one. Got blood in their eyes.
Perfect. So until next time, Tropical Capricorn! It burns! Why does it burn? It tastes like pennies!
I feel powerful.
Back and do it later. You can't reattach the foreskin.